Hey guys, hello, good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are. Welcome to the live stream. And what's up, Anonymous Miner, B-Tech? Okay, guys, I have a lot of different things I want to go through just regarding this whole thing of HiveOS and potentially the malware attack. But really, we've learned some things now. We've learned some more information, and HiveOS has responded. So thank you to HiveOS for responding, and as well as you guys. Just wondering what's been going on, and hopefully in this video, I'm gonna just go through a few things regarding maybe some router security, just some things to just be wary of and just understand, as there's a lot of things that could happen in order for you to essentially get hacked. Okay, and of course we're gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys as well in HiveOS what you can do just to safeguard yourself. Just a couple of things, and also outside of HiveOS, I guess within your own network, right? I know most of you guys, I guess most everybody who is not technically inclined may not know that they have to do a firmware update or security update on their home router, right? Update your firmware on your home router, right? That's something I guess I would say 95% of people don't do, right? There's a lot of things, a lot of vulnerabilities out there in terms of home routers. There's just a bunch of things I'm going to go through, guys, in this video, and just talk with you all, that there are some things that you can do to safeguard yourself. And yeah, okay, so let's begin first. You guys know I did the video last night. I literally released that as I recorded it because I heard the news. I'm like, okay, people should know this. And HiveOS, I messaged HiveOS as well, and I didn't get any response, so thought I'd put this video out, and now they're responding. It's funny, like you create, some kind of just things that worry the community, and the original creator, they come out and they always respond. So that's how it usually goes, right? Just like with anything with kind of like drama. But anyways, they said here, there was no breach or attack on HiveOS whatsoever, and there is nothing to be afraid of for the majority of our users, as long as you take basic precautions, as you should when doing anything on the internet. You'll be safe. There is one thing, there's another tweet that they tweeted at me. They said, "We would be grateful if you could avoid such clickbait headings. Your followers might not get this news right and jump to conclusions quickly. It's nothing new in the tech world in general, and users are not in danger if they use basic precautions." So, first thing, I just wanted to say, I love HiveOS. I'm not going to stop using HiveOS. I'm not going to remove all my rigs off HiveOS because of this incident. Guys, this is honestly totally you can easily remedy this. All right, I'll show you guys just some things, but like the basic precautions. Most people that are not technically inclined will have no idea. Okay, so for HiveOS to say that, I don't like that, and they should make a blog article or something on their website to maybe have some basic precautions, right? Yeah, exactly. Lord Bears, they can't just shift the blame on people. Yeah, I totally agree. This is not the way they should say things like that. And but anyways, going along, neither here nor there. I don't really care about that. The part of your followers might not get this news right and jump to conclusions quickly, I get that, but I would rather have people know the information, know the potential, attack vector that may happen to you, right? That's the most important thing I care about. I don't care about HiveOS. If they go down, whatever, okay, whatever, right? But I care about the people, right? I care about you guys. So this is why I am covering this. Okay, going along, guys. So they said here, this is their announcement on that first Twitter post. They said here, "Hi everyone. You may have noticed or seen supposed reports that several users experienced malware attack that altered their wallets in HiveOS. and I actually do have a Discord member, one of my mods, actually, one of my super mods on my Discord. He says, I just finished reading that article you posted. It is exactly what happened to me mid 2019. After this incident, I enabled 2FA, took all the rigs offline, bought new disks, wow, flash HiveOS image, plus added rig config file to the disks. All old disks went to the trash. Changed local password on the rigs, and I kept changing it periodically using command Hive password, right, which I'm going to show you guys later. All rigs on the different internet subscription, all rigs are on different internet subscription than my main internet. Okay, so he had a different internet connection. I don't know about buying new hard drives just for that. I don't think you really need to do that. I mean, you can do a format, like you can do a complete wipe. You can just download Ultimate Boot Disk, and just like format that disk fully if you wanted to. But anyways, all the rigs are on a different internet subscription on my main internet. All right, so I'm not sure if he had like a data plan, or maybe one of those internet pucks that maybe have terrible vulnerabilities, or no firewall, or maybe all of his mining rigs had public IPs, right? Some of those data pucks are just like, they just give out public IP. So then literally your mining rig is straight on the internet. Then that means, when you go and, you want to remote into your rig, right? Putty or something, or not Putty, SSH, Hive Shell, whatever, that literally opens up your mining rig, right? Especially if you had a public IP or something, right? Then, oh man, your rig would be totally open and would be able to be crawled by whatever the attackers on the internet, right? So that is something. There's so many things I would say not normal regular users of HiveOS will not know, right? Okay, going along. So they say here, while it may sound worrying, there is nothing to be afraid of for majority of our users, as long as you take basic precautions as you should when doing anything on the internet, you'll be safe. There was no breach or attack on HiveOS whatsoever. These reports are nothing new in the tech world in general. It's a basic scan and grab for wide open networks. Okay, so that's what I was explaining earlier of, like, public IPs. Everything is able to be scanned outside, obviously, or crawled or whatever. And then he says here, followed by a script that points to the worker to a different miner wallet address to mine to. This can only happen in one of two or both instances. All right, so here we go. Open networks to unauthorized outside access, or workers with a default password. Okay, so the whole default password thing, all right, they're referring to, let's see here. Let's go to HiveOS. So example, I'm just on my test farm here. I don't have any rigs on here. They've been off for like 42 days, but you just go into your rig, go to settings, and you can see here under password. Okay. Normally when you make a mining rig, it'll have a password of like 1 user and then 1. I believe that's for the just logging into it, like the basic login. And you want to change that. Okay, you definitely want to change that on first HiveOS startup. All right, so that is something to be very wary of as well. Okay, I know a lot of people that don't change their HiveOS password. It's just literally user and then 1, right? So you guys should definitely change that. Okay, another one is. Let's see here. So not only that, on the mining rig itself, so on your account, okay, you will want to enable 2FA and all that stuff. Maybe change your password if you have a weak password. There's just a whole bunch of things like that, right? To be wary of. So 2-factor authentication right here. All right, just turn that on. Okay, but that's different. I would say. The 2-factor authentication and changing your password, it's different from having that SSH access to your mining rigs, okay? But if it's just being crawled, right? Like I said, if your mining rig is public to the internet, some people may have their rigs on a data plan or something. your firewall, your router. All right, so this is where I'm gonna get into a whole nother side of just basic, I guess, home security networking knowledge, just basic networking stuff here for people that have maybe terrible home routers, right? There's a lot of routers out there, like basic from your ISP, that are just very basic, and also they have a lot of bugs, a lot of vulnerabilities. There's a website called routersecurity.org. They explain here and also update people on many different vulnerabilities on different brands of hardware. Netgear, Linksys, D-Link. Okay, D-Link is a huge one that has a lot of vulnerabilities. There's been some SSH security vulnerabilities. All right, I'm now on a website called svedetails.com. This is the security vulnerability data source. So you can actually search for, MikroTik routers. Man, there was a whole bunch of vulnerabilities on MikroTik. I would say MikroTik is more of like a small business, medium business class router, and best best practice: always firmware update. Always check for updates on your routers. Okay, guys, this is something for everyone that you should do on your home router right now. Okay, like if you have a Netgear, just a home. Let's just go to Amazon. TP-Link, another brand that has a lot of vulnerabilities. All right, if you have a typical home router, Wi-Fi router, that's also your main internet connection goes into your router like this. All right, there are a lot of things that could be accessed. All right, hackers could get in onto your router. Netgear, there's a bunch of different brands here. I would say Netgear and Asus, from what I've been seeing, are a lot better in terms of firmware updates, security vulnerabilities. Linksys, TP-Link, D-Link. What other brands are there? Oh man, yeah. There's other routers out there that are just terrible. Like they don't have they're not willing to have an update or a firmware update to fix the vulnerabilities that outside attackers can just come in, right? So actually I have Visio here. I just want to, maybe some people still may not understand like kind of like what I'm talking about, but let's just go. Let's just make a little thing here so people can just understand what I'm talking about here. So just say these are your mining rigs. All right, so we're just going to go by mining rigs, and let's just say you have a just basic home router, and I'm going to do an example of like maybe a full-on like dedicated firewall setup, Wi-Fi network, VLANs, all that kind of stuff, port configuration, all those kind of things, very important. Especially if people, yeah, that's another thing, right? This is hilarious. Okay, and then let's just get a cloud here, just so we can get an internet. All right, that's the internet. All right, so let's just go internet. Okay, and this is just a basic home router. All right, so and then these are gonna be all mining rigs. These are all mining rigs, right? Mining rig and mining rig. And let me just go like this. I'll just zoom in a little bit more. Okay, all right. So now just gonna connect these, right? So you have them basically connected by Ethernet cables. Okay, just like this. All right. So this is what I would say majority of the people are doing, right? This is what majority of people that have on their home, right? So your home router, your basic home router, depending on what model you have, I would first things first, I would go to the support page, whatever router you have, and check for updates. You know what? Let's just go Netgear driver updates. Let's just, you can just Google it. Support center. There you go. Netgear download center, and you just say you have a let's see here, a Netgear Nighthawk. All right, you just type in the Nighthawk. Let's just go like that. Okay, a whole bunch come up. Let's just say you have the AC 1900. Okay, then you'll see here they have a bunch of firmware and software updates. So you'll want to download the latest one and install that. All right. You really want to install all that on. You want the latest version. Okay. And yeah, whatever brand router that you have, update it right away. All right, it's just best practice to do things like that. All right, best practice. Okay, and let's keep it going here, guys. Let's bend there. Okay, there we go. All right, so back to this. All right, so you say you have your internet, and let me just connect this here. So, okay, typical basic home setup, right? So to go along with the router, all right, you want to firmware update, have the latest stuff, and next you'll want to figure out if you have any ports open on your firewall, right? SSH port 22, port 22 is the notorious TCP UDP. I guess what's another port? Yeah, SSH port of 22, right? That port normally you shouldn't have open on your router, right? Port 22. That's like basic. You should not have that open, right? But with HiveOS, they have that method of being able to let that through for your mining rig, right? And that's something, right, that can be open, right? And so what HiveOS said here, workers with a default password basically affects users that either unaware or simply ignore standard security precautions. So I like how they oh man, this is fun. I wonder if they ever talked about this. Have you guys ever seen like a blog post about HiveOS saying anything like that? Like, have you guys seen like anything like that online? But anyways, port 22, just make sure on your router that that's not open, okay? Like, that's it. That's one of the big things I would highly recommend you guys check for people that got hacked, that had their wallets changed, right? So yeah, the basic thing here that I'm just trying to bring it home here is your basic home router has so many, could potentially have many vulnerabilities for outside attackers to come in and get through your home router, right? So even if you potentially have that port 22 blocked, it may not even matter because you have a crappy home router, all right? So you may have a crappy home router. Okay. Now I see some comments here. Some customers are dumb. Don't be dumb. Y2 Canon Amos. You know what? Sure, you are IT technically inclined to know what to do, but I'm gonna say 95, maybe 99% of people that are mining have absolutely no idea. They have absolutely no idea, right? So HiveOS says here, how to avoid this kind of attack. Use secure passwords. Don't connect your devices to untrustworthy or open networks. All right. They say here, we can create the best software in the world for miners, which we already do, but we can't help when users neglect their security. Everyone would agree that having a fancy security system in your house won't help if you leave your doors open and windows wide open. All right. Okay, so that's what they say here. All right, so I'm just going to read some people here. Even if you have a good router, you can get cracked. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Crypto never sleeps. You're right. According to SVE details.com, all of the vulnerabilities of you know what? Let's just here. What's a vendor search here? What do you guys want to see? Let's put Cisco. Look at Cisco here. Oh man, look at that. Look at all those vulnerabilities. Vulnerability trends over time. Wow, that's a lot. That's That's a lot of exploits. Okay. Okay, next one. What's another one? What's another brand? Let's go Netgear. Netgear. Wow. Okay. So in 2021, they had five. What's the five though? Total denial of service, XXS, bypass something, gain privilege. Ooh. Denial of service. Okay. So this was in 2021. They had four bypass something, three directory transversal. Again, I am not a security expert. I forgot to mention that. I am not a security expert or anything like that, guys. This is some I'm just going through basic things here. All right, basic things. Code execution vulnerability. Wow. Okay. All right. I just want to click on the bypass something. This vulnerability allows remote attackers to delete arbitrary files on affected installations of Netgear ProSafe network management system. Holy smoke. Although authentication is required to exploit this vulnerability, the existing authentication mechanism can be bypassed. The specific flaw exists within the MIB controller class. When parsing the real name parameter, the process does not properly validate a user supplied path prior to using it in file operations. So, this was literally a couple months ago in 2021. So, guys, this is right. Look at all these brands here. Like, there's so many different brands of hardware that have vulnerabilities. So, number one thing, I would just go ahead, make sure to update your router as best you can. I mean, that's all you can do. But to stop somebody that really, 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 really wants to get in, I mean, do the best you can to best practice is to just protect yourself as much as possible, right? Just as much as possible. Okay, do ASUS routers. Oh, ASUS. Okay, I'm ASUS. Yeah, usually. Hold on. Let's just go search by vendors. Vendor search. Here we go. ASUS. There we go. Let's see. They had only two incidents in 2021: a DOS, denial of service vulnerability, and a overflow. That's it. Let's see. ASUS GPU tweak 2 before 2303 allowed low privilege users to trigger in a stack-based buffer overflow. Oh, this is a software. Huh. Okay, what's the next one here? No, let's go to. Oh no, that's the same one. The same one. All right, well, ASUS, not bad, I guess, unless there could be something. But the previous year they had gain information vulnerability. Interesting. I guess on a few ASUS firmware before devices allow remote attackers to acquire information on internal network IP address ranges by reading the new LAN IP variable on error page. Okay, well, anyways, guys, yeah, just best practice, check your router, check for another good thing is if you're like Windows mining, if you have anything nefarious installed, right? Like anything. Like just go to just check your PC as well. Like just check everything, right? And this is not pertaining to HiveOS, all right? This is also pertaining to just regular mining, okay? This is basically for everything, right? Like Windows, very notorious for you download anything, and if it had malware or a virus or anything, then it opens up a whole new can of worms on your system, right? Oh, I just opened up my stream. Did not mean to do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what else? That's it. That's what HiveOS said. What do you guys think about what HiveOS just said here? We can create the best software in the world for miners, which I can agree. I can agree. HiveOS is the best mining OS I've ever used. I can. I still. I'm have most of my mining rigs on HiveOS, right? And then he says here, but we can't help when users neglect their security. Everyone would agree that having a fancy security system in your house won't help if you leave the doors and windows wide open. All right. So that's it, guys. Now let's continue with the AMA. What any questions, guys? Any questions? Any concerns? Um let's see here. I'm gonna read some comments. Hey man, hello from Venezuela. Hello, good sir. Hello. People shouldn't blame HiveOS for having their SSH 22 ports open to the internet. Yeah. Novus, I mean, yeah, well, that and HiveOS shouldn't blame the people. As we know, right? Home routers, basic home routers have very, like, a huge amount of flaws, vulnerabilities that hackers can easily just get in, right? 99% of people don't know that. Like, they get their home router from their ISP and they just plug it in. That's it. They don't touch it for a couple years. There's been maybe a bunch of firmware updates since then. They don't touch it. Rest in peace. Have you been enjoying your poker loss, Tech Shinji? Get out of here. Tech Shinji, don't bring up my poker loss, damn it. That all in was amazing. You got to admit, I had 2 9s. That was amazing. Max, I should have listened to Max Voltage. Um Next question. Yes, you should have Max Voltage. You're here. I knew it. I knew it. Max Voltage, too funny, man. Too funny, man. Um, BTech, RedPandaMining. If you're gonna open port 22, don't open to a mining rig. Use a jump box or an SSH tunnel from another machine to rigs. Nice. Exactly. BTech. I mean, if something like pfSense, right? If you use pfSense, you can have a dedicated machine for pfSense, and then you can have your own firewall, VLANing. Oh, there's so many different possibilities for home security, home network security. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things people can do. Um, you need to open port 8444 to the internet for chia farming. Helium mining. Also, you have to open up a port as well, which is really scary. Uh, Dilgaff Dilgaff Xfinity 1 gig cable modem have this issue. Uh, Dilgaff, I have no idea. You're gonna have to go search up on Xfinity. Xfinity is a pretty big like home router modem. So I would definitely go check if there's a firmware update for that. Definitely go check for firmware updates. Max Voltage. I should have listened to Max Voltage. Wife then said, first and only time you'll hear that in this house. um uh, Max Voltage, way too funny, man. Just put the helium miner on a VLAN. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. If you have a okay, so if you have a let's see, we're gonna firewall here. So you know what? We just gotta make a new one. Let's just make a new one. Okay, majority, like how many network guys are out there in the world? I'm gonna say less than people that have networking knowledge. I'm gonna say is like less than 100,000, 200,000 people in the world. It's I'm like not an expert. I'm very basic, very basic networking. I don't like dive in hardcore. I just know pfSense, firewalls, uh switches, those kind of things. VLANing, I know how to do that. Like I'm very basic, okay? Um you can go way in depth into networking, and I'm not that type of person. So um for people that don't know pfSense is an open source firewall GUI thing as well. You can install it on any like PC with like a network card. Preferably, you just go out and on eBay buy one of those like $25 4-port gigabit network cards. Plop it in a regular Celeron i3. You don't, yeah, Celeron is all you need for pfSense, and that's it. You go to town. Then you have an amazing firewall, router, DHCP. You can do a bunch of stuff. Captive portal for your Wi-Fi, MAC address filtering, whatever. That can be spoofed easily though. But a lot of things. Okay, let's go. So switch. We need a switch. Does Visio have a switch? There's like 100K networking people just in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley. Yeah, I guess Maui, Chris. Yeah, so I'm gonna say in the world, less than a million. Let's just say. I don't know. Gundy. Yeah, few and far between. Yeah, exactly, man. VLANs alone is not gonna do anything until you control the traffic between the VLANs. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. That's right. That's right. Yeah, sense. Or just you know what, I'm just gonna put firewall here because anyone could have a different anyone. There's so many different firewalls out there. Let's just say like a 24 port switch, right? Managed. In order to do VLANing, you need to have at least a switch that you can go into, and a managed switch, right? Okay, connect this is the internet. Oh, that's the worst connector ever. Okay, and then say you want to do like VLANing, right? Or you have another. You're most likely you'll need, I guess, another switch. Either it's uh when you do VLANing, it's gonna be let me just think here. What's it called, man? Tagged or untagged. So depending if you have an unmanaged switch or another managed switch at the other side of it, you can have either unmanaged or managed. But you have to figure out if you're gonna tag your initial switch, then you'll do that on the untagged on the other switch. If you do untagged on the main switch here, then you can put a unmanaged switch. Did I explain that right? Yeah, it's unmanaged, untagged, and tagged. You have to be wary when you start doing VLANing. That's a whole nother. It's a whole nother thing. But let me just go like that, and then let's just say you have VLAN one, VLAN actually 102. Let's just not do one. One is the default. There you go. Right? You have the networking setup like this, and then let's say this side is gonna be for your like home or users, your TVs, whatever. Right? You're gonna have that on your other VLAN side of the side of your house. The other side switch, this VLAN you want to do for your like mining rigs or helium miners or whatever the heck, whatever you want to put on this side that you want to keep separate to have you don't want to have that you don't want access to your home side. Okay, so the whole reason for doing the VLANing is so that you can separate the traffic going to your other devices on that network, right? So the VLANing is two totally separate networks. Okay, you're gonna have a separate with pfSense. With pfSense, you can do multiple LANs, right? And then associate those to your VLANs. And then with those VLANs, you'll have multiple subnets. Okay, you can do totally different subnets. All right, you can do slash whatever 24, which is typical 255 IP addresses, slash 24, slash 22, I think is like 1,000 IPs or something, slash like hold on. Hold on. Let's go. Subnet cheat sheet. Subnet cheat sheet. Where is that? Here it is. All right. There you go. Subnet mask cheat sheet. So when you create your DHCP, which is what gives out your IP addresses, okay, and you can then associate that. You can have your own full on, your own like. Okay, I can put this in here. Let's just do slash like. Let's just do 10 10. Let's just do 10 0 to 0.1 slash 24. Okay, so this VLAN is going to be that, and your next one is going to be 10.0.10.1 slash 24. That's on its own, or you can just do a totally different one, right? You have to follow the RFC 19 RFC what's it called? RFC 19. Oh man, I'm trying to hold on. 1918. There's only a certain type of addressing, IP addressing that you can use. Man, what's it called? There it is. I found it. All right. There's only these type of subnets that you can do on your local network, right? On your local network that you can only for your address spacing. Okay. So when you're gonna do VLANs, DHCP, when you create your DHCP in your router, your firewall, like pfSense, for example, you can only follow these types, because if you do something else like 174, 176, that's a public IP address. So that's not going to work. And so if you try to access something, it's going to hit that IP address, that public IP address. So you want to use the internal IP addresses here. All right. Address space. All right. So that's why. Okay. I just read something. RedPandaMining. A few people are asking to change shell in box PW. You should probably show that. Okay, that I think I showed way earlier in the stream, but you lost the audience 10 minutes ago. Crypto never sleeps. Well, that's okay. Firewall doesn't route the traffic. Firewall does not. Yeah, the firewall, your firewall, and all of that stuff can route the traffic, yes, depending on NAT, your DHCP. If you have all of that in one server, all of that in one box, that's doing all of that. So I just joined live. What happened to HiveOS? What are you teaching, sir? I'm not teaching anything. I'm just this is what I have, right? This is what I'm like doing, right? A typical home user. Most people will have this kind of setup, okay? Most people, just basic home router, and that's it. Your mining rig's plugged into your home router, no firmware updates, That's it. Straight out to the internet. Hackers can come in. Any vulnerabilities on your home router, you're done. Right? They can get access to your mining rigs. This kind of setup, I mean, you're not 100% protected, right? Any pfSense, like for the firewalls, the firewall open source firewall that I use, pfSense, it can be hacked as well, right? I'm not saying that this stuff, the things that we do here, cannot safeguard you, but it can safeguard you a little bit more than what this kind of setup is, right? So that's it. That's it. When you do this kind of setup, of course, you do have to invest a lot of. You can just YouTube like pfSense setup, pfSense firewall, pfSense VLANing. You can just YouTube that, and you can see a bunch of different resources out there how to set that type of thing up, how to separate your traffic, your networks, your home users, you can even do another VLAN, right? You can do your Wi-Fi. Hold on, your Wi-Fi can be on a totally separate VLAN as well. Is there a Wi-Fi one here? Hold on. Wi-Fi picture? How does Vizio not have a wireless? Uh, wow. Okay. All right. All right. Well, cellular, cell phone. Oh man. Wave. All right. I'm just gonna put. Wow. All right. That's not a. That's not a. Okay. Anyway. Oh no. Jesus. This is Vizio. How did? All right. So actually, if you had multiple ports on your firewall, you can just put a VLAN right on that, and you can put that into your Wi-Fi system, right? If you had a managed like a Ubiquity system, Ubiquity, you can do VLAN as well. So this is for your Wi-Fi. You can do VLAN, I don't know, 103 or something, right? And you can do that there, and you can have another totally different subnet, right? You can you can just do 196.1.0 like 50.1, right? Or 0/24, right? You can do that all here. Okay, so bunch of things. You can do whatever. Lawrence Systems on YouTube can teach you pfSense. Exactly. Lawrence Systems is the best. 100% agree. 100% agree. I love that guy. Lawrence Systems on YouTube, guys. Go follow him. MikroTik is better for firewall than Ubiquity. I'm gonna have to say no on that one. I like Ubiquity better than MikroTik. But I would definitely look into PF sensing. PF sensing, you have a lot more control. There's massive community, massive updates every time for it. It's always being updated for vulnerabilities, security flaws. PF sense is awesome. If you use PF sense though, sometimes updating it can crash, can like corrupt your thing. So always back it up. Always back up your configuration and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you just want to be safe. You want to be safe on that side. Um. Okay. Any other questions, guys? I think that's it. I don't really wanna. I think that's it. That's like I said. There's the things I just talked about. Information that most people have no idea. Like most people will have no idea, and whether or not that's gonna safeguard you or not from these kind of things, it's on the person to make sure. The best practices, right? You just got to make sure you protect yourself. Try to learn as much as you can. Update your firmware on your router at least. That's the least thing you can do for now. And change your passwords, change your mining rig passwords on your HiveOS rig, whatever, what have you. Um, yeah. Okay. That's it. Before, after Ubiquity was hacked. Ubiquity remedied that, didn't they? I use FortiGate for primary ISP. FortiGate is definitely good. Yes, FortiGate is but you have to pay subscription. FortiGate is a subscription based firewall, and they have a lot of different features. So yeah, FortiGate is like very extreme. Yeah, you FortiGate firewalling is definitely extreme. Okay. What else, guys? What else? What else? What else? Why not 2FA before starting anything always? Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, 2FA your HiveOS account. Yeah, on my test account, I don't even have 2FA enabled. I need to do that. So, see, there you go. I need a 2FA. um, but yeah, exactly. Novus just said this has nothing to do with 2FA. Exactly, exactly. 2FA, what just happened here for HiveOS, for potential people out there, that has nothing to do with 2FA. Exactly. Or it's due to, it could be due to a number of things of like your network security at home, your home router is terrible, vulnerabilities on your home router, uh, you have a PC at home that maybe has an open port or opened up something people to get in. Who knows, right? It could be anything. It could be anything. But it's 2FA is not because of this. So, but best practice, yes, best practice. One of the things is to have 2FA enabled. Oh, does a VPN not solve all problems? Pearl Rival. So that's a good question. From my knowledge here of VPNing, so say you VPN out, right? Okay, with pfSense, you can also have a VPN, like open VPN, which I love, associated, or private internet access. You can have any of those. You can log into your pfSense with a VPN service, right? Um, so all the traffic that goes out will go through that VPN. Okay, so that goes out. Yes, all of the traffic, whatever you do, your mining will go out through that VPN. Yes, but for outsiders, for outside people, your ISP, your static, your IP address, that's forward facing on the outside is still crawlable, hittable by hackers. So if you're, depending on what kind of firewall, router, home router you haven't, so many different factors out there that they can still attack your setup. So what, you're not safeguarded amongst everything, right? The VPN side of it just goes out. All right, the VPN thing, it just goes outside into the internet. But from the internet into your network, your public IP address, right? Depending on your ISP, that's a whole nother thing. ISPs, some of them don't do anything to safeguard you, right? Everything is just open. All the ports are open. They could care less. Everything is open out into the world, and your public facing IP address can just be crawled by anybody, right? It can just be crawled by anybody. So yeah. WireGuard is back for pfSense too. Yeah, I saw that. That's actually really cool. I want to use that for sure. Good luck in hacking my main internet, which is using a cell phone. Roger Larson. So yeah, that that depends. What's I'd like to know because some cell phone pucks, some cell phone data plan like cell phone routers, hotspots, what have you, are actually even worse. Some of them don't even have like the basic function of a firewall. So I would be very wary of that. I would make sure you check out what what's going on there, see if there are any ports open. Just check out what you're using there, okay? Some hotspots just give out static public IP addresses. So then that means your mining rigs would just go straight out. No firewall, nothing. Easily. Any hacker just go straight in. Red Panda, can you please tell me where to buy S19 Pro other than Meat Bros? I don't know who Meat Bros is, but I yeah, I wouldn't even bother to buy S19s right now. They're freaking expensive. Um all right, let's just RPM could use Russian Chinese guys, please stop asking that question. ISPs busy trying to monetize your traffic, my friend, charging extra for using Netflix and YouTube. Yeah. Ah, man, yeah, brutal, brutal. Um, BTEC, double nat, double nat. Uh, I don't even know how to set that up. BTEC, how is that possible? I guess having two PFSense setups. Is that right? Um, crypto. They should not be in crypto. They should not be in crypto. Crypto never sleeps. If we don't help people understand, any little bit of things, then how are we gonna help adoption, right? We don't want to persuade people to be disinterested. We want to help. We want to help people. I'm here to help people. I see a lot of comments. I don't know about you guys, but there's so many pessimistic people out there. I don't know what's wrong with those guys, but I'm not here to be pessimistic or negative at all. I'm here to help the community. I'm here to help people. So anybody that it's really negative out there, I have no time. I have no time for those people. Um we are getting paid to mine hashes to crack our own networks. BTEC, RedPandaMining. Yep. Oh, two PF senses. Okay. Two NAT, double NAT PF sense. Damn, that's intense, man. Uh, I would love to set that up. Actually, a whole nother setup actually, which I've done before, um, is let's say you have a server. Okay, you can turn a whole server. You can turn a server into a like a virtual machine, VMware, Citrix, whatever. So you can have like your server. You can have multiple VMs, right? So that can be PF. One can be a PF Sense. Another one could be another PF Sense, right? And then you can have like a file server, whatever. You can have whatever, mining wallets. I don't know, whatever you call it. Your crypto wallets. And so I know with VMware Hypervisor or ESXi, you can do like you can do internal. I think it's internal VLAN. networking. What else does it do? Like you can do separation between. You have to have. You need multiple network cards. Um, Preferably to do multiple network cards. You're gonna need managed switches. You could do that. Yeah, you could do that. It's possible. It's possible. LAN everything Plex. You can do Plex. Yeah, exactly. You can do that all in one server. Yeah, you can be firewall, right? Everything, and then your main internet can go out through that server, right? It's possible. You probably still need to have the modem, whatever modem you have from your ISP. You'll still need that to plug in for the internet to that network port, right? And then yeah, you have another. Anyway, I'm not gonna waste your guys' time here, but I just there's so many things you could do. So many things. So many things you could do. Um, and then yeah, Wi-Fi. You can have Wi-Fi on one, your mining rigs on the other, users, whatever on the other. Okay. Next question. Crypto Mikkel, hello, Crypto Mikkel, hello, good sir. Crypto Mikkel, how are you? How are you? Okay, B-Tech, thanks, buddy. Head to work. Take care. Yeah, take care. You too, man. Okay, guys. Actually, I've been streaming for an hour. I think we're going to call it. I think we're gonna call it, guys. So I don't know if I helped at all today to open some minds of just some basic networking security, but there's so many different things out there to really protect yourselves. It's not just changing your passwords. It's not just enabling 2FA. It's also due to your home network as well. Okay, like this. Okay, it's this. You're not safe. You're not safe. That's just what I'm saying. Whatever stuff that you're using, all your home routers, there's still vulnerabilities for attackers to come in. Okay, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think. I feel like I didn't cover everything that I wanted. There's so much more out there. There's so much more out there. But anyways, thank you. Thank you guys. Sandman, thank you. No worries. Louise, yeah. VLAN, ports, router, rabbit hole today. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just those basic things, right? Just to check. That's it. Okay, guys, hit that like button on the way out. I appreciate you all. And by no means does this mean I'm not using HiveOS anymore. Okay, I'm full on. I'm 100% into HiveOS. So don't think that this is something that we're gonna stop using HiveOS. No, I'm still gonna be using HiveOS. So just protect yourselves, guys. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you all so much. Have a good one. The Tar Heel Crypto Yankee, thank you for the knowledge. I've been wanting to augment the minimal security that CenturyLink provides. I think this is priority now. Yeah, 100% CenturyLink. Yeah, CenturyLink routers. You definitely want to definitely look change that up. Maybe get another router. Look into pfSense. Do stuff like that for fun. Why not? Right? Why not? Thank you all. Thank you all so much. All right. Have a good day, guys. Peace. See you in a little fun video tomorrow. I guess today was a pretty serious. The past two videos I just did was pretty serious. I hate doing serious videos. I hate doing things like this. But people gotta know. People gotta know some things. All right. Peace out, guys. Peace.